Yo, what is good, guys? It is Austin back again, uploading every Wednesday and Friday. I appreciate all the love and support you guys have shown on the Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, everything. Everything's been amazing. Love you guys. Happy New Year. And I kind of just wanted to take this video. It's time to do my post-show day thoughts video. I know it's been a while, but I had a lot that kind of went through my head. So for those of you guys that don't know, I got first in teens, first in novice, and second overall. I didn't really post much about it because I don't think second overall is something that should really be celebrated, I guess. Like, I'm proud of the package I brought, but, you know, you go to win kind of thing. I have a couple points I want to talk about in this video, but this video is going to be kind of raw, kind of unedited, more on the like low-key style of editing, just because I want to do some more videos where I sit down and talk to the camera, and it's a little more authentic, a little more genuine. But yeah, so first things first, the judges, I talked to them after the show, got some good feedback, and I'm not going to sit here and say I got robbed or anything. The guy who beat me looked great. Everyone looked good. Everyone came in and, gave their best effort. So one of the things I was told was a little more thickness on my delts and a little more width on my back to really accentuate that V-taper, and it'll be really hard to deny me. And that's valid. I mean, I was personally thinking it would be my chest and my legs that they brought up, but it was my back and my delts. That's not going to stop me from working on my chest and my legs, but my back and my delts will come up. I train delts 3 times a week now, and I train back mostly lat focused with a little bit of upper back for thickness. Following that, I did this show just to say I've competed, but it kind of lit a fire underneath me, and now I'm going to be competing again. It will not be in 2023, most likely. My plan right now is to take 2023 off, do a lean bulk, try to get to around 200, 215, evaluate at 200, see if I get too fluffy. If I get too fluffy, cut back down, get the bulk going, just really stack as much lean muscle mass as possible. And then 2024, the plan is to compete, win that show, and then go from that to potentially the Yorton Cup based on how I feel I look. And then maybe transition from the OCB to the NPC or something like that. Still natural though. Following that, it also lit a fire underneath me for other things because, I had some people come up to me and tell me they inspired me. I also had people who I competed against. I had one kid's parents come up to me and ask for a picture with him. And that's a really heartwarming experience. Words cannot describe the amount of emotion I had when that would happen. It feels so different being a part of someone else's journey and making an impact on someone else's life. So I will be coaching and doing all sorts of coaching, mostly bodybuilding or prep or helping people stack on lean muscle mass, but some lifestyle as well here and there. I do have a website now. It's austingfit.com. I'll probably pop that up there on the screen. If you're interested in coaching, need a coach for any reason, I coach myself through my prep and my peak week. And I was able to do that through a lot of resources, doing a lot of studying, annotating resources, but also TNF was a phenomenal online resource that anyone can access and look into what he says and really do your own research. And then you begin to get an understanding of why things are the way they are and why we do things a certain way for better results. Which brings me to my next point. I will be coaching Joe through his show if he does it. He's roughly 6-ish months out and he's still deciding, but we're doing optimal training to stack as much lean mass as possible. And then we'll start his cut and we'll register kind of late if he likes the package that he would bring. I'll also be potentially coaching a friend through a powerlifting meet, so that'll be interesting. I do think I'm capable of doing both, but I will be tampering with it myself before I set him up for a meet. But I kind of wanted to just take this video to really dig deep on a lot of things, one of them being bodybuilding. If you're in a position where you are not sure if you want to compete, don't do it. That's probably not what a lot of people are going to tell you, but I'm going to say don't do it. If you're not in a position where you are sure you want to compete, then it's not worth it, because the dieting and the level of restriction you have to go to really bring a package where you're going to have a chance of winning, you're not going to enjoy it if you're like, I don't even really want to do this. A perfect example of this is Alex Eubank. He looks phenomenal, but he didn't really want to compete. So he didn't enjoy the process of getting that lean. He didn't really think it was fun. It really just prohibited him from doing a lot of the stuff he enjoys doing. But if you're like me and you're like, I want to compete, you will enjoy the process. And you 100% should do it. But if you're in a position where you're not sure if you should compete, you're not sure about your physique, the size, the conditioning, how to do it, that's where I come into play, or another coach comes into play, and we can help you make that decision. But if you 100% want to compete and your goal is to compete and win a competition, win a show, then 100% I say go for it. My following point is going to be kind of touching on, the support unit I had. I feel like something that was important for me. I had my parents who drove 4 hours out to come see me compete. Love them. Thank them so much for that. My parents' support was phenomenal to have. I have Joe. Joe brought Anthony with him. They flew from Philadelphia for my peak week, most of it, and to watch me compete. And Joe was there every step of the way. He went in early with me, went for my tans and everything. Joe's like a brother to me, for those of you guys that don't know. It's a phenomenal thing to have that support unit. Going in by yourself can be a little intimidating, especially for your first show. Last but not least, my girlfriend, Val, for those of you guys that don't know, she was a phenomenal support for me, making sure everything was in line for me. If I was out doing cardio early in the morning, making sure I had food to make when I got back, and making food for me very frequently to make sure I was, able to do all my schoolwork, study, eat, edit videos, and keep everything flowing for me. So again, having support units like that is phenomenal. One thing I don't recommend is taking 18 credit hours in college and doing a bodybuilding show. That whooped my butt. We got out with all my credits though, and some decent grades in some of the classes, but I just would not recommend it. You will you will be very busy, very, very, very busy. So that would be my piece of advice. Following that, I don't really have an exact plan for when I'm going to compete in 2024. It's kind of just playing it by eye. And I might personally get a coach just to kind of get an extra view for classic physique, or like what shape I should bring. But that is one thing I will 100% say is get a coach when you do it. It's another set of eyes. I coached myself, but I did have another set of eyes, Levi from Kenwood Supplements. He was kind of like, I would reason through things with him, and he was a resource to verify that it was a good idea. And for the most part, it worked well, and I was happy to have another set of eyes. But posing is important. I'm going to be trying to do more content like that on here. But just overall, it's an experience that changes how you view the sport and probably your goals and your ambition. I might potentially try a powerlifting meet at some point, but my focus is bodybuilding right now. The last thing that I kind of want to leave you guys with is, if anyone is out there and they're debating, trying to build muscle, bodybuilding, powerlifting, whatever, trying to get stronger, go for it. Because I was a cross-country runner, skinny soccer player, had no intention of ever doing a bodybuilding show ever. Didn't think I would ever really get more than an extra 5 pounds of muscle on my body. But one day I just committed myself to it, got consistent. And if you are absolutely just 100% consistent, relentless in everything that you do, it is almost impossible for you to fail at everything. It is almost impossible for you to not yield some sort of significant, substantial result in your life. And I say that with 100% confidence. It's shown in social media for me. It's shown in bodybuilding. It's shown in building muscle just in general. It's shown in everything, school, everything. If you are 100% relentless and commit yourself 110% to something that you are going to set out and do, it is impossible to fail 100% of the time. Failure is part of that process. And if you didn't make it the first time, you can make it the second time. If you didn't make it the second time, you can make it the third time. If you didn't make it the third time, you can make it the fourth time. And if you didn't make it the fourth time, there's always a fifth time. I promise you, there is a room, there's a spot, there is a place for you in terms of success. 100% guarantee you that. You just have to sit down, be disciplined, and commit yourself to it. And if you have ambition, you have a good work ethic, you can make just about anything happen for you. On that note, I'm going to be wrapping up this video. Thank you guys for all the support. If you enjoyed the video or enjoy any of my content, please consider liking, commenting, subscribing. Let me know which platform you came from. If you came from the algorithm or one of my other socials, comment it down below. And again, thank you guys for the support.